Hi, I'm Ann Rossley with Beard & Warner. I sell real estate in downtown Chicago, and I love answering client questions. This week's question is, what is the real value of this property, and should I be concerned that it hasn't gone up in value over the last 8 years? Why is it priced the same? Kind of a loaded question, right? But I want to bring you some thoughts about determining value. So let's take a quick masterclass on what are the factors that influence value and how you tell if a property is priced right. Okay, first of all, let's talk about median sales price. If you are a watcher of our weekly Chicago housing market update, Monday Morning Coffee with Kyle and Ann, you see that I talk all the time about median sales price. So what's median sales price? Well, median sales price is that number at which half of the homes sell higher, half the homes sell lower. So I could say average sales price, but then if I had a couple of $20 million properties that sold, it would skew it way over, right? Or if there were a ton of foreclosures, it would skew it way lower. So that's why we choose median sales price, but it's not a perfect number. Yes, if all properties are appreciating, then the median sales price will go up. But there are also times when you'll have more higher priced properties sell than lower priced properties. And so the median sales price goes up, but that isn't necessarily indicative of what's going on in a particular building, a particular micro neighborhood, or a particular area of the city. So let's talk about fair market value. So my client said, if the median sales price of a single family home in the lakefront communities went up by 10% in 1 year, shouldn't my home increase by that same amount? And the answer I have to give is no. No. It doesn't work like that. Let's talk fair market value. Fair market value is the price at which a home will sell for on the open market under normal conditions. Fair market value is often different than the actual market value or the appraised value that is used in some property tax evaluations. Let's compare it to a couple other assets. Let's think about diamonds, cars, and houses, how they're alike and how they're different. Well, a diamond, unless you cut the diamond, once you put that ring on your finger, that diamond is pretty much going to hold its value based on its condition, its cut, its clarity, its size, whatever the C's are that we're supposed to have for diamonds. The car depreciates a lot right away. Remember, right when you roll it off the lot, it depreciates. You have to maintain the car, but still over time, it's going to go down in value. The cost of used cars went up, remember, when there were no used cars to be had because there was such a demand for used cars with not as much supply. Now, a home is different than the car and the diamond. If you're an investor owner, you do know that you can depreciate the cost of the property over a 27.5-year period, but you can also improve your house to increase its value. Houses are unique. It's not like an Audi Q5 that there are many of them. They're all the same in the 2022 year. So it can be replaced by something. Houses are totally unique. You cannot substitute one for the other exactly. So the question is, what's the useful life of a home? Well, if you buy a home and you never do an improvement to it, let's say you bought a 1930s bungalow in Mayfair and you didn't replace the roof, you didn't update the plumbing or the electrical, you didn't update the appliances in the home. Over time, at some point, that home will only be worth land value. In other words, the value of the land without the house, right? So we have to maintain the home so it doesn't go down to nothing in value. There are 3 different things that affect market value. First is the external factors. Number 1, what's the demand for the property or for properties in general? How much inventory is on the market? Right now, we don't have a lot of inventory, but we also don't have a lot of demand for homes to sell. What are interest rates? What's consumer confidence? What's the outlook? As you can well imagine, these external factors are really affecting home values right now. And if somebody really has to sell, they're not going to get the same price on resale that they would in a different market. There are outside factors that affect market value, whether it's the land or the condo building. For example, the location. Is it in a hot neighborhood? Is it easy to get transportation? Is it close to things that are important? The lakefront, does it have views? Local ordinance and taxes, maybe it's Oak Park and the property taxes are higher there than in perhaps some other suburbs. What are the lot and building characteristics? Is it a small, tiny lot with no room for a garage? Or is it an oversized lot that has increased value? Those are all external factors. And let me just say this. If you are in what we would call a B or a C condo building, no matter what you do to improve the unit inside your four walls, you can only increase the value to a certain level, because at some point, people are not going to pay $5 million for 1,650 square feet in a condo building where the highest two-bedroom that's ever sold is 750,000, say. So outside factors will impact market value. All right, then there's specific factors of the property itself that affect market value. Condition, structure in the systems. How old are they? Is the masonry up to date? Is the roof up to date? What's the useful life left on the roof? The HVAC, how old are they? What condition are they? What are the aesthetics? Is it in style? Is it in good condition? Meaning, maybe it's got hardwood floors that are not today's on-trend wide plank, grayish color oak, but they're good, solid, long-wearing oak. What's the floor plan and the square footage? How big is it? Does it lay out like a family would want to use it today, or is it an oddball square footage unit? What floor height, what view, if you're in a condo building, that impacts the value. What amenities? Is there parking included in the price? Is it deeded and attached? Is there a balcony? Are the appliances luxury appliances? What's the flooring? What's the level of the finishes inside? Those all affect market value. And over time, the interest in these amenities may change. It's more important than ever today that you have a balcony. So many people want balconies. So many people want in-unit washers and dryers, where that wasn't such a big deal 35 years ago. So the influence of comparable properties will also affect value. And when we look for fair market value, we look at what's in the building or nearby within half a mile, what is similar to the subject property, construction, age, amenities, tier. And by tier, I mean the units all the way up and down, like the 05 units. They have the same view, the same floor plan, they just vary in floor height. Condition comparison, what's the useful life left of the building? Most recent sales and active listings. Here's an example of my 400 Ontario price comparison. I'm looking in River North, what's active and sold in the last 6 months. It's a loft, so I really want to only look at lofts. And I want to look at 2 bedrooms, 2 baths between 1,450 and 1,800 square feet. And when I do this search, I come up with a list of properties. And you can see here, I didn't put a price parameter on this. Here are the actives. From 449, 875 is the highest priced active. Now look at this, it's 1,800 square feet, it's the biggest. It has 3 exposures, southwest and east, has the highest taxes and the highest assessment as well. So it may not be as comparable to mine. So now I'm looking at the closed within the last 6 months within half a mile, and I see 399 up to 659. That gives me a good sense that my loft is going to be somewhere in that price range. And then I need to look at some other factors to determine what else impacts the value. Floor plan, condition, view. This one's on a corner with northeast exposure versus one that just faces south. There are other things such as how recently was it updated? Is there a view out of the second bedroom, which is a big deal with lofts. So I picked the ones that are most similar. These are the 3 active most similar and the 3 closed most similar. And you'll see it's narrowed down now between 537.5 and 655 on the closed end, and between 530 and 875 on the active end. So when I go to come up with fair market value and discuss with my seller what price to put on it, these are the properties from which I'll look. All right. So what are the condo properties that tend to gain value over 10 years? They generally have the following attributes. They're in hot neighborhoods with good schools. They appeal to most of the buyers that are out there looking because competition drives up the price. So they're going to be on the lower end of the scale in terms of HOA. People don't like to pay high assessments these days. They have stable taxes. They have the fewest restrictions in terms of pets, applications, whether or not you're able to rent them out, outdoor space, and they have amenities like parking, exercise facilities, etc. So it's a balance between having enough amenities without having too high of an assessment. Scarcity. Is the property something so special that there aren't a lot like it? For example, if you find one that has a big terrace, yes, you're going to pay more than the person that has the balcony, but that's very special to have that outdoor terrace. Okay, and then upkeep. And this one is the most important because if you don't maintain the property, it's not going to hold its value even if you make a good purchase, because the next person is going to have to do whatever's required to get it back up to date. Make it look like what the next buyer is going to want. All right, so let's just look at a condo building over time to see what happens when people buy and sell within a building. This is a spreadsheet of 100 East Bellevue. And the baseline, or the first time it sold within the last 12 years, will be in green. And then the second time that unit sells will be in blue. And here, for example, at the bottom is 5F, sold in 16 for $447.5 and sold again in 20 for $550. Up here toward the top is 15C, and it sold in 12 for $520, again in 13 for $507.5, which was a 2.5% drop in value. However, in 2015, it sold for $570, which is a 12% increase. However, in 2021, it sold for a 30% decrease. And you may ask yourself, why does that happen? Well, let's take a look at some of the photos from the MLS and see if we can figure out what did happen. Here's the outside of the building. It's a beautiful building in the Gold Coast, very close to Lakeshore Drive. And here's the 15C unit again. This is just that part of the spreadsheet I just showed you, showing the decline, the increase, and the decline again. The kitchen, for all four purchases was the same. 2013, this is what the bathroom looked like on the right. 2014, 2021, this is what it looked like. And you'll see it's the same cabinetry, painted, new countertop, new light fixture, glass shower door. It looks like a new toilet here. Otherwise the same, but it looks so much nicer. These are just staging things you can do. All right, bedroom. On the right, here it is a den. They've put a carpet over. Here on the left is a regular bed. Here's the primary bedroom. On 2013, here it is. Looks like they painted it between 2013 and 2014. Looks like they did different light fixtures. See how they're darker on the right, or at least they didn't turn them on. Different window treatments. 11C now. 2018 and 2021. Increase of 38% in value. Here's what it looked like in 2018. This looks like the old original parquet floors. Older chandelier, empty. Here's what it looked like in 2021. They put in beams to put in the downlighting because these are concrete ceilings. They put the new on-trend flooring in. By the way, if you watch our shows regularly, you'll know that fixing hardwood floors, making them more up-to-date, is one of the best things you can do to increase the value of your home. So that's just an overview, and I hope it shows you that What you do to maintain your home is very important to the value. And just because you see some units go up or down doesn't mean that there's something terrible with the building. It just could be that somebody didn't maintain it properly, and it could be a really good buy for you. Maybe just painting some cabinetry and putting on a new countertop could yield a big return on investment. So the final thought I'll leave you with is this in terms of value. If you want to make changes to your home that you're going to live in for a very long time and you don't care if that affects value, I say go for it. Be aware, however, that when you go to sell that property, in order to maximize the return on investment, you'll need to bring it back to a condition that is most appropriate for the buyers in the marketplace. That's why we buy properties after all, so that we can make them our own homes. If, however, you'd like to make some improvements and you're a little bit flexible on exactly what you want to do and you want to make it increase the value of your home, then I would recommend that you reach out to me and let's talk about those specific improvements. I work with some designers too that can help you find just the right improvements that'll help you increase the value of your home. My goal is for you to have all the information at your fingertips so that you can make the most out of your real estate investments and enjoy your home for many years to come. I'm Ann Rossley with Baird & Warner. If I can help in any way, please reach out and let's connect.